Well, on the night of 18th June 1968, we were conducting what we called a area recon. We were a four-man team. I was an assistant team leader. We got our mission and we went looking for trouble. And trouble found us instead.
We'd been doing recon, and there was a team of LRPs, long-range reconnaissance patrol, that we'd been supporting.
This night, we expected to do nothing but recon. We'd only gone maybe 150 meters, and all of a sudden, the team leader who was walking ahead of me stopped, and I got down next to him. He cupped his hand in my ear and said, "We got enemy all around us." So that's at the point where we called for help, and that turned out to be Taylor. The fight was going on 30, 35 minutes. We down to single magazine per guy, and Taylor and his wingman, they too were getting close to being done. So knowing that they were almost out, there's not going to be any relief coming, and if they left us, we weren't going to be there. Not alive at any rate. Taylor called in. He said, "I think I got a plan to get these fellas out of there. I'm going to go in there myself on my ship, land, and I can get them out of there." Well, somebody, I believe it was a colonel, a fairly high rank back in the base camp, says, "No, can't do that."
I said, "Yes, sir." And the first thing I did, I called him and I said, "Get ready."
He was told again, says, "Don't do it. Don't attempt to get them out of there. Your ship is a gunship. It has no cabin for them to ride in." Taylor said, "Well, I'm going to try."
We were 19 or 20 and volunteered for everything. We became a four-man team, doing things we never dreamed. Elzer from New York, Patty from Tennessee, Connecticut and California boys, Billy Conn and me. We were long-range patrollers on the ground in Vietnam, searching for the enemy, the eyes of our command. We were looking for trouble, and we found it in spades. So we called for help, and it arrived with rockets and guns ablaze. It was a desperate situation, but we weren't giving up. I thank God every day there was an angel up above. He was told to abort and leave us on the ground. He said, "Sir, stay off my radio." He sat that Cobra down. Out of time and out of ammo, Larry made a plan. He said, "Clear your path with claymores and I'll find a place to land." We were running to the chopper and I was bringing up the rear, slinging grenades from side to side at anyone who came near. Conn and I rode the rocket pods, Elsner and Patty riding on the skids. I thank God and Captain Taylor. Everybody left. It was a desperate situation, but we weren't giving up. I thank God every day there was an angel up above. He was told to abort and leave us on the ground. He said, "Sir, stay off my that cobra down. He set that cobra down.
So he swung out over the Dong Nai River and he proceeded down about 10 miles. Once he got there and he was in safe territory, he turned on his landing lights. So very safe at that point. We couldn't talk with him. The antenna was broken and the radio was no longer operating. The only thing we could think to do is to get off the helicopter, run around the front of it, stand in his landing lights, and just pop a quick salute, thumbs up. Good job, thanks. And he took off, and that's the last time I saw him for 30 years. The scriptures tell us that no greater love hath a man than to lay down his life for his friends. Larry Taylor didn't lay down his life that night, but he was damn sure willing to do so.
When I got back, the commanding officer said, "What possessed you to do that?" And I said, "Well, it needed doing, sir." And he said, "Well, you can't beat that for an answer." And I said, "No, sir." He says, "How many did you lose?" And I said, "None." He said, "Well, I told you not to go get them." And I said, "You want me to take them back?" And he says, well, no. And he shut up, and I didn't hear anything else about him. Somewhere, at some place, there are people who are depending on you to make the right decision.